much longer I can take this shit. This is far more pleasing and it makes me happy. Does it make you happy? What the fuck? Well, good afternoon and welcome back. I want to give a special thanks to Awakened Starseed for the recommendation. You rock, sister, and welcome to my new subscribers that came over to visit. I promise not to disappoint, although my vocabulary is quite colorful. But hey, we're used to that, right? Okay, good. So I want to start off by featuring my latest hate review, which, you know, I think this was fabulous. I'm old, so I have to put on my glasses so I can read it for you. This one came through on my life lessons video when I went through all the characteristics of every number 1 through 11. So this came in from Carolyn. Carolyn said she didn't respond about life lessons or anything about that. Your hair would look so much better short, layered and absolutely no extensions. We gals over 40 don't need extra long hair as it's not a good look unless you're Cindy Crawford. Who says I'm not? I have naturally curly hair and a Brazilian blowout. It's a miracle to eliminate frizz, but keeps the curl. Sorry, not trying to be harsh, but it's very distracting. Now the catty bitch in me would just say, sounds like you're having some sex issues. You know, if my hair is really distracting you and you're having a hard time coping, well, I think the problem is you, Carolyn. But I didn't say that. I didn't, because I'm far more mature than that, right? As you just saw. Instead, I believe I said something like, wow, LOL, that's quite a comment. You know, I'm trying to grow up. Not really. So yes, that was our featured hate comment. I've only had 2 so far, except for the one somebody that said that she hates Dr. Phil for introducing the term narcissism to bored housewives. Well, she can't be talking about me because I'm single and I work. So yeah, not a housewife. And I actually know what a narcissist is because I dealt with one for a long fucking time. So yeah. Anyway, okay. So that being said, let's get on to this little shit show, shall we? Yes. Okay, so this is the first time I've spoken since the whole arrest affidavit came out for Letecia. And I know that everybody's spinning because we had her driving 955 miles in a rental car. We had her not coming home with Gannon. But if you do look at the video, you can see a slight shadow of somebody possibly. You can see a slight shadow by the back tire of the other side. Now, let's think about this. Let's think about the energy that she was putting off that day. And I still feel that something really bad happened the night before that was an injury-producing event. When he said he was bleeding, she did something to produce this because he was so hurt the next day that he couldn't go to school. So I'm not ruling that out. I don't think she can't accept accountability for anything. Now here's the deal. Letecia is a master number 33, which is a 6. And she was having a master number 33 personal year, meaning the year 2019 with her month and day equal to 33. Now, when you are in your life lesson and it's a personal year, you're going to go through big changes, big lessons. Anything that you haven't addressed to date that involves your life lesson, it's going to come up. Now, she has an accountability problem. She cannot hold herself accountable for anything. That's one of her issues. So instead, she paints a different picture through her words with the 33, which is expression and sensitivity. She uses her words to paint a different picture to make it appear more perfect, which is the 6, okay? Now, she was given an opportunity, just like Chris Watts was given an opportunity. He's a master number 44, okay? You're given an opportunity to hold yourself accountable for your actions. So she flew off the handle. She did something that she was going to have to answer to, and I still feel this. I might be wrong. We've been wrong about a lot of things so far, right? And honestly, we're not going to know until the truth comes out, and that's if we are able to get the truth out, okay? It was something that was going to be so devastating that it was going to screw her life up. And I think that's why Gannon got sacrificed, basically. So she could have done something that created a mess, first of all. But here's the other thing about that is, why would she fuck around for so long during that day? If you created blood the night before, you need to get that shit cleaned up. I'm not saying that I do things that create blood. I'm just telling you. I mean, honestly, blood stains? Really? So forget everything you knew. Now think about the energy that she's producing on the 27th. She's got him in the car with her, and I believe she said something like, get in on this side or whatever. I don't think that he habitually gets in on that side. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares, right? That doesn't matter. Here's the thing. She's giving off a certain energy because she has a plan. He's a little kid. Kids are sensitive. And he is also, he's a 48 life lesson, which is a 3. So he can pick up psychically on her energy. He can feel her energy. So think about it. What is it when somebody's giving off bad energy? What do you want to do? You want to get the fuck away from them, right? So that truck's lifted a little bit. He's a little kid. He would want to get away from her, meaning he would throw open the door on the other side and hop out and be gone, okay? Now, I'm 5'7", 111 pounds. If I'm in a lifted truck, I have to basically swing myself out because I'm usually wearing come fuck me pumps or something, right? Where I'm going to fall and break my ass. So I usually swing out, and I'm going to end up not landing perfectly outside the door. I'm going to end up out into the back a little bit. So let's just think of that for a minute. He's a little guy. He's got to get out and still maintain his footing. He's probably going to swing out and land back a little bit. So it is entirely possible that, yes, he did come home with her. What I'm puzzled about is why she left herself so little time between when they got home and when Lena came home. So what was she building on that day? What was she building on? She was, in her numbers, I believe she was in a 60 that day, which means that she was planning her escape. She was planning her moving on. She was in the 6 of Swords. So she was planning her movement in another direction. However, when you're working that 60 in the negative, you're going from the frying pan into the fire, which is exactly what she did. But yet she's trying to create that vision of perfection with the 6. You're in a 60. So she's trying to create the vision of perfection. So she's cleaning, obsessively cleaning. Now, Gannon was found in a suitcase. You can have, and she sent Harley for plastic bags and all of that. You can have a body, and I'm not saying why do I have to keep explaining myself? I sound so guilty. I sound like her, right? She could have put him in plastic bags. God only knows, what. I mean, think like this crazy bitch, right? In plastic bags inside of a suitcase. Nobody's going to think twice about a suitcase. But it could be right where she left it. I mean, she could put a suitcase anywhere, okay? Nobody's going to look twice at that. And put it in her car. Then when she drops her car off at the airport, nobody's going to think twice about a fucking suitcase in a car at the airport either, okay? I mean, so I don't know. I mean, there's just a lot of speculation here, okay? But she had to work herself up into a lather in order to create what it would take to even commit this. So I'm thinking, what the fuck? So is she cleaning up her mess from the night before and whatever happened there? Or did she just straight up come home and just freaking do this, you know? And maybe she left her phone at home because she had fully intended on taking care of this business while she was out, but maybe there were too many witnesses, there was too many other people around, we weren't social distancing then, you know? Who knows? But think about a person who's intending to end your life and being a little kid who's psychically picking up on that intention. Can you imagine the energy that was going back and forth between them? Who knows what she was saying to him? But yeah, I think her intention all along when they left the house that day was to possibly, you know, take care of that. I think she was covering her ass by the Google searches of, can I leave my son home because I have to work? That was all cover. She had no intentions of leaving him at home. She had no intentions of that. So we have to think like the crazy bitch that Tisha is and think what she's doing, because you know how she's always thinking next step. Oh my God. I want to know why she was allowed to come up with these ridiculous stories and they just let her go. I mean, come on. Seriously, with the various rape scenarios. And this is my favorite part. It's like she's being raped, but she can go upstairs and go tell Lena to go out and play. And she's being raped, but yet she can make phone calls. Oh, wait. Oh, hey, dude, hold on. I got to get this. Oh, hey, girl, what's up? Can you blah, 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 blah. What? Come on. I mean, and then they let her go. What? Why? Were they thinking that she would lead them somewhere? How the fuck did she get all the way to South Carolina? Okay, these are the things that are going through my head, along with a whole bunch of other things. But, yeah, so it's like I see people are like, no, I don't believe that he came home. Well, we aren't there looking at the forensics. We're not there looking at the crime scene. We're not there looking to see everything that was done. And she was working like a whirling dervish to get that shit cleaned up. And let me tell you something. Her chances of cleaning it, if it's fresh, would probably be a lot more successful than if it had sat since the night before. I just, you know, I don't know. That sounds a little suspicious to me. I don't think that you'd be able to do that. But I don't know. I haven't murdered anybody in shit. I'm not going to tell you how many years. So I don't know. Food for thought. And now I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute. She couldn't have been in a 60 because Gannon was in a 6 that day. She was in a 60 on that Sunday, the 26th. Letecia was in a 60. She was in a 61, which on the 27th. Gannon was in a 60 personal month, okay? So poor Gannon. Gannon's personal year, on his birthday, 2019, till his birthday, 2020, he was in a 59.5 vibration, which is the 5 of Swords, okay? So in January, his personal month would be a 60, okay? Well, it just so happens that on that Sunday, Letecia was in a 60 personal day, and so that's where this kind of came together, okay? But on that Monday, Letecia's in a 61, which is a 7 vibration, which is the 7 of Swords, okay? I do both numbers and the tarot so that you can kind of get a visual, you know? Like I said, she was trying to figure out what she could get away with, but no, she did it all that day. Not good. Trying to figure out here. He was in an 87 that day, which breaks down to a 15.6. So that poor kid was in a full-on devil vibration that day, and that's what he met with. I'm just really hoping that this is super airtight. As far as this whole taking a route on the way to South Carolina to drop him off in Florida, I don't think that happened at all, because there's too many witnesses. If you've got a caravan of gypsies, going across country to South Carolina, you're not going to be able to take off on your own and go drop a suitcase off. I really feel that suitcase got dropped off around the time that it was found. So she was saying that her Facebook got hacked. She's such a liar. There's no way. There were Facebook posts yapping about Donald Trump rally and NASCAR. Okay? So she's placing herself at NASCAR, and then she's talking about a Donald Trump rally. Well, there was no Donald Trump rally in Florida. The Donald Trump rally was happening in Colorado Springs at that time, and NASCAR was happening that weekend. So on the 16th, which is the day that I see her in a 48, which is travel beyond the mountain, 8 of Cups, okay? Letecia's Path of Destiny is an 84. So anytime that I see somebody making a move that is a destiny creating move. So she's in a 48. These are the numbers that I look for. I see her in a 48, like setting up a ruse that she's in Daytona, but really she's not. She's going over here. And then it just so happens that the suitcase gets found the next day on the 17th. I think that there's always a number of people in that area, and if there's a road crew there, there's been a road crew there. I don't think it sat there for any real length of time. That's just my feeling, okay? But you're not going to have 3 or 4 people traveling with you and you're going to be able to go and take a detour. I am not buying that. However, I do think that this whole, Trump rally and all of that stuff, and when people would ask, that, oh, I was hacked, and then the Daytona thing, she might have been hacked, but if she was hacked by somebody in Colorado Springs who was talking about a Trump rally, and she was going to Daytona, but she didn't go to Daytona, and that's just my thoughts on that. And I could be wrong, I've been wrong about my boyfriends. A lot of times I've been wrong about my boyfriends, so, and I could be wrong about this, so yeah. But I just think that that's a pretty well-traveled area, and it's not just going to be sitting there for all this time. Now, her dumbass linked herself to the freaking suitcase. Thank the Lord. So Eduardo did not take the freaking suitcase, and oh my God! And then it was somebody else. It was old Quincy. Oh, Quincy was doing. Oh no, first it was Eduardo, and then it was Quincy, and then I don't know. Jesus Christ! And they still let her go. Why would you allow somebody to change their story that many times, showing guilt over and over, and then they still let her go and get away? I guess you want to make sure you have an airtight case, which is fine. I think it actually worked out better that they let her go and that they found the suitcase and that she had mentioned the suitcase. God, this woman is so fucking stupid. She thought she was so ahead of things, and she was just a complete moron. So yeah, don't get me started there. Thoughts on that? I don't know. But I was looking at various dates where she could have dropped off that suitcase before she got arrested, and I'm looking at late February. I'm not looking at the first week of February, so I'm not sure, but the cops think that they have something there. I just don't think so. Those were the dates that I think she left Colorado. But it would be awfully hard to be like, oh, hey, I'm going to go grab a drink and, go off to Florida. I don't know. Thoughts? Yeah, let me know. And why I didn't figure this out before, Gannon was in his 60 personal month. That means he was in the 6 of Swords. That's a guy, I didn't bring my cards out. That's a guy in a boat. Well, we associate it with travel, okay? Either over or by water. And where was he found? He definitely traveled. He wasn't still alive, but he definitely traveled, and by water. So, duh, Jesus, I didn't think of that. Yeah. Sometimes, see, I'm way too analytical, so I sit there and I take everything like, and then I'm an 11. I'm supposed to see the bigger picture, but my 7s get in the way. So, yeah, the more you follow me, the more you're going to understand that 7s overthink freaking everything, but we also overanalyze everything. And at the same time, we also don't get caught up in people's bullshit. So for me, I just can't understand how they allowed her to spin these god-awful stories like the news media does to us every day about COVID, and they just let her just freaking pussyfoot off to goddamn South Carolina. Okay, but yeah, that's where he was. And where was Ding Dong? She's in a 34-7. So she was in the 8 of Wands. So let's think about that. Messages coming in and out, quick action, needing to, it's like messages are dashed off and incoming stuff and just a lot of things happening. But 7, when you're not working 7 in the positive, boy, is that bad. And she did not work that in the positive at all. So yeah, that's not good. She used her brain, and I use that term loosely, to just come up with a diabolical plan that was so ridiculous, and she just thought she was one step ahead. Now, as I've mentioned before, Letecia is a 37 soul, and they do dumb shit, man. They just do dumb shit when they aren't working out in the positive. It's this magician energy that doesn't work well if you're not using it in the positive. It gets really crazy really, really fast. So, yep, I don't know why I didn't put that together before. But then again, people thought he was over by water in Colorado too. But this is going on a trip. Like, it's usually a distance trip when you're in 6 of Swords energy. It's not usually just, a trip to another county. So, I really need to start trusting this better. So now what? I don't like this waiting game. I really hate it, but I want them to be airtight, and I still don't want them to go for the death penalty on this. If they overcharge this case, it's going to be the kiss of death. So they have to, did I just say kiss of death? No pun intended. I really don't want them to overcharge it. I want them to get her life in prison without the possibility of parole. And just let natural selection take its place. This chick, unbelievable, man. When I heard all the stories that she told, I was just shaking my freaking head. I mean, my eyes, I literally looked like I was convulsing from the way my eyes were rolling back in my head. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? But I'm glad that she tied herself to the suitcase. I'm glad that she did, with her big, fat, stupid mouth, that she tied herself to everything that she did, because she's a fucking idiot. Yeah. As far as the Harley situation goes, I think Harley got sucked into a really bad situation by her mother. I think her mom manipulates the shit out of her. Their life lessons come together and create a 7, which you have issues with trust and openness. So there can be a lot of really bad trust issues in a 7 relationship. Their souls are karmic. They create an 8. So it'd be interesting, anybody that believes in past lives, it'd be interesting to see what their past life situation was, because they came together to get things right. Very, very interesting there. Poor Harley though, man. She's born May 1st of 2002. She is a 1. She's like a straight 10. She's born on the 1st, and she expresses as a 1. It's like just having all of this new shit kind of thrown at you. But if you look at her, there's some videos on YouTube. She's actually a really cute, bright, positive girl. She's nothing like her mother, and I don't even think she looks like her mother. She's just very cute and bright, and she seemed to really love Gannons. So I think that's getting caught up and twisted into somebody's drama that was really awful, and she was really caught in a vice there between her mom and this little boy. And but she's hopefully going to be a lot smarter and know that what her mom did was wrong. And but it's sad for her, just because she's literally on her own. All that 1 energy, she is on her own. There's really not much she can do. Her path of destiny is a 71, which is an 8. 3 of Pentacles. She'll make it. She's going to be good. She's going to do for herself, and she's going to be successful. but she needs to just, weigh, balance, and discard, and hopefully do the right thing. But I don't feel that she had any part of this. In fact, Ding Dong, when she was doing that TV interview, I don't think she realized she was still mic'd when she went over and told Harley that, well, you need to come over and say, and she was feeding her what to say. You weren't on the hike, but you saw him afterwards, and just telling her what to say. And I'm just like, really? Because, Harley's like, well, what am I supposed to say? Poor kid. Anyway, yeah, she kind of got a raw deal there. So I, send lots of prayers for her, but her soul is a 16 and my soul's a 16. And I'll tell you what, it's not fun. It's really not that much fun. When you get betrayed by your own family, that fucking sucks. I mean, for me, I just chose the wrong guys, but, for her, it's like, man, she got born into this shit show. And I see a lot of kids, in this new generation, in the new millennium, that have this 16 soul, and my God, their family relations are terrible, horrible. I mean, she'll be wise to it, hopefully, So let's think good thoughts for Harley. All right, kids, boys, girls, people that hate my hair, try not to be too distracted. I know it's a challenge, but anyways, let me know what you think. This is more of a blah, blasting it out there. Sorry I've been gone so long. By the time I get home from work, my fuck it all has just worn off, and my DGAF kind of clicks in. Plus, I'm not camera ready. Not like I am today. Somebody snuck in and dyed my roots what appears to be like a gray dishwater color. I thought that was kind of rude. Anyways, the guy that holds my hand for money, I was trying to type and I couldn't, because this is how goddamn long my nails are now because I haven't cut them. So I cut this hand, and look at all that outgrow. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, can we talk about that? How's that for fucking distracting, huh? What do you think about that? All right, have a good night.